I'm Mr. T, and this is my night elf mohawk.
Cut, T, there's no such thing as a night elf mohawk.
Shut up, fool!
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and we are back at it with another standard deck straight out of Magic the Gathering's Avatar: The Last Airbender Standard. And this is coming from early access, so the set hasn't launched live on Arena for the public yet. When it does, we're going to hit the ground running, and we have a ton of crazy ideas to get to. Early access this time around was a absolute ball of chaos for me. I was in the middle of moving my apartment during the middle of it. Didn't have a lot of time to devote to early access. Normally I do like a 24-hour marathon stream. Had to squeeze in a couple sessions where I could. So things are kind of chaotic. But this is one of the decks we tried that kind of rose to the top and ended up being really, really good, surprisingly. This one's called Mr. T, and we're going back to a Mardu donate style deck where we're using Greed's Gambit and Demonic Pact and giving things to our opponent and winning by making them suffer the downsides of some crazy downsides on permanents that would normally be downsides for us. Greed's Gambit, Demonic Pact. The deck's already kind of good. People have been running it for a while, but I think this Mardu version that utilizes some of these new cards is nuts. Iroh T Master, Mr. T himself, not only allows us to give our opponents permanents every single turn, but gives us value in exchange for them, which is nuts. The new airbending mechanic works really, really well in this deck because we can use it as pseudo removal, but we can also use it on like a Greed's Gambit that we donate to our opponent. There's so much this deck is doing, and I'm just super excited about it. I think we can make this deck even better once the set launches on Arena. But even this version was pretty crazy. We're going to break it down. We're going to get into the gameplay. I only have a couple games, but there's some pretty good ones. Like I said, a little bit limited on time for early access this time, so I apologize. Before we dive in, please like the video, please subscribe, all that stuff helps me out so much, and catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. One last thing, there was a gentleman on the last video that called me out for my ASMR yum-yums, and I'm sorry, but I had to spend the entire day moving an apartment over and trying to fit in early access, and I did not have time to eat. I had to pull double duty and multitask. So I had to be eating while I was streaming, and if I happened to be eating while we got a good game that needed to be on the video, so be it. So in the future, once the set launches proper, there will not be any ASMR yum-yums on the videos. But for now, you're probably going to catch some more ASMR yum-yums because a man has to eat. And I had to get these decks out to you guys. We had to do the things. So it is what it is. Let's break it down. Alright, so this one's called Mr. T, and the idea is very simple. We're going back to a Greed's Gambit Demonic Pact style donate deck. We do still have one copy of Harmless Offering in here for 3 mana. We can just give our opponent control of any permanent that we control, but we're mostly using some new cards in order to give our opponents stuff, such as Iroh T Master, a 2/2 legendary human citizen ally for 3 mana in the colors of Boros. When he enters, you get to create a food token, which is nice fodder for handing to your opponent for value if you need to. But also at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control, and when you do, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each permanent you own that your opponents control. So the more stuff that you give to your opponent, the bigger these allies start becoming every time you make one. And honestly, just getting creatures in exchange for giving them something is insanely good just in and of itself, because this deck just wants to give stuff to our opponent anyway. So even if we just get chump blockers out of the deal, or a little bit of extra value that we can swing in with, we're pretty happy with that deal. We're either giving them Greed's Gambit, which when we first play it for 4 mana is going to let us draw 3 cards, gain us 6 life, and create 3 2/1 bat tokens with flying. The downside is, at the beginning of our end step, we have to discard a card, lose 2 life, and sack a creature. which adds up over time. And also, if the enchantment ever leaves the battlefield, you have to discard 3 cards, lose 6 life, and sacrifice 3 creatures. The way around this is you donate this to your opponent, and now your opponent has to deal with the downside while you get to keep all of the value. And then if you can somehow get rid of this while it's under the control of your opponent, you get to force them to discard 3 cards, lose 6 life, and sacrifice 3 creatures all in one go, which can be absolutely nuts. And we'll get to how we can do that in just a bit, but we're also running 2 copies of Demonic Pact, 4 mana enchantment. During your upkeep, you get to choose one of 4 things. You either deal 4 damage to something, gain 4 life, usually use that as removal. Target opponent discards 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, eventually you lose the game, has to be chosen. Now, it doesn't reset when you exchange control to a different player, so once we hand this off to our opponent, if we've already chosen the other 3 modes, they are forced to choose lose the game during their next upkeep, and then they just lose, which is nice. People have been doing this kind of deck for a while, so this isn't really anything new. And we've also got 2 Beseech the Mirrors, because we can use this, sacrificing some of our early fodder to fetch either Demonic Pact or Greed's Gambit, depending on where we're at in the game and which one's going to be better for us. But what makes this even better, especially with Greed's Gambit, is we are using cards that allow us to airbend, such as the Legend of Yangchen. 5 mana saga. On chapter 1, we get to exile a permanent with mana value 3 or greater from among permanents our opponents control. If you're playing this in multiplayer, each of your opponents has to pick something that you don't control to get exiled, something with 3 or greater. But it's a May, so they don't actually have to choose anything in this case, but you still get to exile something when you play it. On chapter 2, you can have them draw 3 and you draw 3, which can be beneficial to just get to your combo regardless of the value that they get. But then on chapter 3, this flips into a 4/5 flyer that when you cast your second spell each turn, you get to airbend up to 1 other target non-land permanent, which means you cast 2 spells in 1 turn, you airbend your Greed's Gambit, it now leaves the battlefield, goes into exile, they have to discard 3 cards, lose 6 life, sacrifice 3 creatures, and you could just replay it for 2 mana because it's airbended. And you get 3 more tokens, 3 more cards, 6 more life. Absolutely insane with airbending. We're also running 3 copies of Avatar's Wrath, another airbending card, 4 mana. Choose up to 1 target creature and then airbend all other creatures. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. So, you get to keep your Iroh on the battlefield, you get to keep Mr. T, airbend everything else, and they can't play any of those creatures on their next turn. So you buy yourself a couple turns of wiggle room while not getting rid of your Iroh, without getting rid of your Mr. T, and that's usually all you need is those couple turns of wiggle room so that you can let Greed's Gambit and Demonic Pact do their thing. So I think Avatar's Wrath is actually kind of insanely good in this deck. Going back to the bottom of the curve, we're also running 3 Stiltskin, another 1-drop that can give our opponents things in exchange for drawing cards, which doubly beneficial in a deck like this. 1 Final Vengeance and 3 Torch the Tower. Extra value if we're able to sacrifice things, a little bit of a removal suite there. And we do have plenty of things to sacrifice because we want to sacrifice them to Beseech the Mirror as well. So we're running 4 Case of the Stash Skeleton, which gives us a skeleton token which can either be aggressive or be used as sacrifice fodder for Beseech the Mirror or Torch or Final Vengeance. And once it's gone, we can actually sacrifice the case itself to tutor up whatever piece of our combo that we need, which is really, really nice. We're also running 3 copies of Nowhere to Run, which is nice early removal that can be sacrificed to a Beseech to find what we need, or to one of our other targets. 3 Disturbing Mirth, because we can sacrifice some of our sacrifice fodder to draw cards, but then also offer this up as additional sacrifice fodder, and when we do, we get to Manifest Dread. Sometimes we'll get lucky and hit something we actually want, like an Iroh, which is really, really nice. And then 1 copy of Blood Spatter Analysis, which I actually like in this deck. You get to kill something when you play it. 2 mana for 3 damage isn't the best return ever, but every time something dies, you get to mill a card and put a Bloodstain counter on it, and when it has 5 or more, you sacrifice it, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's also got this built-in way of maybe getting back your Mr. T and on just the right turn, so that you can do the thing you need to do, or maybe just getting back Stiltskin, whatever you need to do. I kinda like having a cheeky one of this. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we already talked about Harmless Offering, but the last card is another new card that I think is really good in this deck, and that's Aang's Iceberg, a 3-mana enchantment with Flash. When it enters, you exile up to one other target non-land permanent until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. And then it also has Waterbend 3, you can sacrifice the enchantment to scry 2. This is amazing in this deck. Not only can we use this as early removal to buy us the time that we need, but if we've already played a Greed's Gambit, we can exile the Greed's Gambit with the Aang's Iceberg, immediately making them discard 3, lose 6 life, and sack 3 creatures. And then we can just Waterbend 3, which could be 3 mana, or tapping 3 creatures, or some combination, to sacrifice this. Not only do we get to scry 2, but the Greed's Gambit comes back onto the battlefield and gives us 6 life and 3/2/1 flyers and draws us 3 cards all over again. So I think this is insanely good because of its versatility. It can pivot, it can be removal when it needs to, it can be a combo piece when it needs to. It just does kind of everything we want. So we're absolutely running the full play set of 4. Can you tell I'm tired? It's been a long weekend. I'm still in the middle of moving my apartment over to the new place, and that's why everything behind me is kind of empty right now. So bear with me. That being said, I think this deck is really interesting. If you want the full deck list, including the lands, it is in the description. So definitely check that out. And let's check out the games. Who said you have a heart? This looks fine. 2 mana. Who needs more? Nobody. We don't need more. Stinks I gotta play the Multiversal Passage for white to play Stiltskin. And then I don't have black and red for Blood Spatter analysis. Except now I don't have to do that. Black. Well, I guess I do still, right? I won't have access to white on 1. I think it's still worth doing. We're gonna do it. Take you wonder by wonders of the first. Great Divide Guide. It's true. He is a great Divide Guide. Pass a turn. I guess maybe I probably shouldn't have got greedy with the Stiltskin. Did I really need to put him out on 1? Not really. Not really. Having access to the removal on 2, probably more important. Hindsight's 20/20, my friends. Hindsight is 20/20. We got some blood spatters. I guess we'll do this. Do we hit the guide or the Voyager? I think we have to hit the guide, right? He's just got way too much mana. Yeah, we'll do that. Stiltskin's good at blocking the 1/1s too, so that's something. That's something. Hakoda! No blocks. Alright, we're gonna start with Greed's Gambit. We could have just jammed the Demonic Pact right away, but I really like shoring up our defenses here. Discard Case, we don't need it. Sack 1 of you. Get a counter on the Blood Spatter analysis. What's your question, Tom? More little dudes. More little dudes. Tai Lee Chi. Tai Chi Lee? Bruce Lee Tai Chi? Bruce Lee Tai Chi. No blocks. I'll take 5. I'll take it. I mean, we definitely want a Harmless Offering this turn, right? Right? That only leaves 2 mana left over. I guess maybe we can torch the tower? But we probably want to do it now, so he doesn't sack Hakoda. Could also just Greed's Gambit again. That seems a little risky though. Oh, we've only got 1 red mana. That means we can't torch the tower if we Harmless Offering. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I don't love it, but I think we just have to. I don't think he has lethal. But it's definitely not pleasant. Being stuck with only 1 red really hurt us. Suki, oh god. There it is. There it is. There it is. Lethal. Lethal. Must conserve health total. Must conserve health total. Sack, discard, lose life, do the thing. How do we get out of this predicament? I don't think we get out of this predicament. But if we do, it's gotta be through this, right? Alright, this is what I needed earlier. That's what I needed. I can still torch the tower. And I probably should. Alright, discard Disturbing Mirth. We need the blockers, unfortunately, so we're going to have to sack Stiltskin. But our analysis triggers, so we can just get it back. And that's kind of cool. Invasion reinforcements. Ow. Why not just attack with everything? What are you doing with your life? We're going to Avatar's Wrath next turn. No blocks. We don't want to leave the battlefield because we don't want Aang to transform. Go ahead. Huh. Oh, wait, does it trigger? Does it? Oh, it does. Interesting. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're going to do this. Do we want to play Torch the Tower or Stiltskin after? Probably Stiltskin. Get out of here. Get out of here. We'll attack. And we'll play Stiltskin. And Greed's Gambit will make us very sad. I don't know if we survive long enough to Demonic Pact. Oh boy. Oh boy, we ready to Stiltskin. He can't play anything this turn. If he plays it, he has to sacrifice it. He's only got one card. If he doesn't play it, he has to discard it. So that's kind of sick. 1, 2. We'll get Iroh out. Move to combat. You want to tap it down. Sure. You can have a Greed's Gambit. Yep, flash it all in. Do it. We're gonna have to sack the food to go up to 6. If we can survive to our next turn, I think we're good. I feel pretty good about it. It's a big if, though. Big if. That's a lot of mana. We got another Avatar's Wrath coming. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get greedy. Get greedy. I'm counting on it. Oh wait, do I just barely die? I think I just barely die. Aw, come on. Man, we were so close. That's so lame. That's so lame. We had that game. We literally had it. Avatar's Wrath next turn. One life point, and we absolutely dominated. So, tapping down our 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 earlier was the whole game. If we had blocked or attacked once with 𝐿𝐿𝐿 to gain 1 point of life, we would have clinched it. Crazy. This looks pretty cool. Let's keep it. No new cards, oddly enough. Sleight of hand, sure. Don't think we're gonna need to torch the tower anytime soon. We're just gonna get this into play tapped. Verge. Pass the turn. I guess we just hold up, torch the tower. We're essentially playing a control deck, so... however much time we need to take. Mono blue. Pass, I guess. Opt, sure. Mono blue lessons. Abandon attachments. Storm Chaser's talent, sure. We're just gonna do this because we can. I really want to play Greed's Gambit next turn. So that's what we're gonna do. Do you have a counterspell, sir? You can use your counterspell if you'd like. Into the Flood Maw, oh god. Okay, that was bad. That was very bad. That was exceedingly bad. No, that is not a let's go. That is not a let's go at all. I guess we still get the tokens and stuff. Yeah, you know what? We get everything back. So it's actually not even that bad. He bounced it before we had things to sacrifice, so we get to keep the tokens. No blocks. We win that race. We win that race all day, sir. Do it again. Sure. Flood Maw, huh? Sure. Next turn we get to Demonic Pact and Torch the Tower. And kill his 𝐻𝐫𝐿 crab. He's down to 2 cards in hand. This morning's been rough, not gonna lie. More land. Alright, we'll attack. Demonic Pact. Do it, you won't. Okay, apparently you will. Alright, end the turn. I ain't afraid. Let's go. Stupid human token. You token of a human. Just counterspell everything. How original. You're so cool. I wish I could be like you. We need to bait out his counterspell with the other Demonic Pact, unfortunately. Could also Beseech. Get rid of everything. I don't think that works super well though. Let's do this. Let's bait. Great bait, mate. 8 out of 8. Resolve. Decline. That's what I needed, sir. Cat, I'm gonna kill you. Excuse me. Sneezing up a storm here. What you got for me? I don't think you got lethal. 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 Thank you, Tom. Well, we'll start with this. Bargain this. We cannot hit the otter. Let's see. We could Avatar's Wrath. Only keep one of our dudes. That feels kind of bad. Honestly, I think our best bet is to 𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐵 Gambit. Target you with the 𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐵 Gambit. Get out of here. Get out of here. Swing for 4. Where's Iroh, man? We need some Iroh up in this. Where are ya? We could use some hot jasmine tea. Or hot jasmine coffee. Or hot princess jasmine on a carpet ride. I can show you the world. Hey, we did it! Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.